What is going on, everybody? You are live with Coach JP. Today is the second live that I'm doing using StreamYard. So hopefully this one goes a little bit better. The first one I did not go so well, but I'm learning here. And I'm live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and in my groups. So if you're watching this and you're on Facebook, Instagram, I won't be able to read your comments. Just want to let you guys know that right off the bat. But I'm here to talk about a few things today. I'm here because I want to talk about how do you create a new life for yourself after you get out? How do you change the narrative of what you've been living, what you've accepted as reality, and what you believe to be real when you get out of the service? We leave the service and we're taught everything is this way. Everything is black and white. Either you are a good Marine, good sailor, soldier, whatever. I have to mute this. I'm trying to mute this. Got my Instagram. All right, all set. And we don't realize that the truth that we experience, the truth that we believe to be real, it's not that it's not real. It's just that's our perspective. That's what we've been taught for so long that it's really hard to change the way that you see everything. The way that you understand reality to be real is based off everything that you intake as far as information. So if you're taught through your drill instructors, your drill sergeants, that this is the way that things are, this is what's black and white, this is what's right from wrong, and then you leave the military, you lose your best friends, you lose your culture, you lose everything. You're right, David. The military teaches you how to be a great service member, but at the end, it doesn't teach you how to reintegrate into anything else. So you don't learn what it means to have a little bit of compassion for the people in the world that maybe don't have the life that you've lived. You didn't live their life. They didn't live yours. They didn't raise their right hand to be a part of the military. They didn't raise the right hand and decide to enlist. You did. So what happens? We leave the military. We lose our best friends. We lose all of our culture. We come into a society that we were never a part of. We are coming into that society. We have to learn that if we do not let go of the ego, if we do not kill the past self, if we do not allow ourselves to become different versions of who we used to be because now we are different, we're never going to be able to evolve to that 2.0 version of yourself. We're never going to be able to change our life. You can't be that lone wolf. You can't be that warrior 24/7. You can't be that freaking alpha male all the time. It served a purpose when you were in, and it was very important then. Absolutely. It served a purpose when you were in, and it was very important then. It's no longer the same type of mentality anymore. You need to understand, if you want to be a good leader in your community, a good father, a good husband, a good son, daughter, wife, team member, employee, colleague, friend, you need to recreate who you are. And it's not about repairing anything. It wasn't anything wrong that you did. It's just that you have to restructure it now. You have to look at it differently. Your perspective has to change. The lens that you look at it through has to be different. If you look at everything through the lens of the veteran that has this mentality of, this is the way I'm supposed to be, it's black and white, if they do this, it's wrong, it doesn't work for you. It's a new world. You're right. It's a new world. And that's true. Like you said, Sky Soldier, what kind of person do you want to be moving forward? Who do you want to truly become? It's not about who you were. You cannot rest on the laurels of your past. You cannot expect to just Live life the way you've been living it. It's very different now. When we get out, we have this period, and it happens to all of us. It happens to me. We push so far away from what the military used to be because we feel like the forced PT and the formations and doing this and that and being on time and not having to, do everything a certain way. We feel like they were forced on us for so long that we grow our beards out. We get tattoos. We don't dress the same way. We push so far away from that. We have to work our way back, because that's the thing. You have to realize you're not doing it for anybody else anymore. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you want to be the best version of who you are. It's all about intentionality, right? You are not held to the same standard anymore. And that is a harsh truth. It is a very hard pill to swallow, because veterans think that everybody is looking at you to be perfect. But you're not. You're just a human being. You're going through it just like everybody else is. There's power in vulnerability. There's power in you telling somebody, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help with this. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to live the same way anymore. You're not expected to be perfect. And you go into the real world and you think that everybody is judging you. And then what happens? You start judging people back. You start criticizing society. You start feeling like it's not up to par. You start feeling like you're not up to par. You start questioning, did I do the right thing? Should I have stayed in? They're doing fine without you. The world didn't fall apart when you left your platoon. The world didn't fall apart when you left the military. Your world is now the world you have to worry on creating. Absolutely. When society looks at you, they do look at you for guidance. They look at you for what should we do? But it's a lot to do with the fact that we stand up when nobody else will. And there's pride in that. There's something good about that, right? It's all about how you translate the words. So I like to do something called veteran translations, right? So instead of you thinking that, well, the military screwed me up and now I always have to be on time for everything because of all the crazy formations, take it as a skill you've learned and apply it appropriately. I have patience. I understand the power of punctuality, but when I am running late, that's all right. I'm used to being screwed over by the military all the time. The green weenie got me. I'm adaptable. I understand that things don't always go as planned, and you know what? That's all right. We can change the situation. When you understand that when you look at things from the military and change your perspective on it, instead of you saying the military forced me to work out so much that now I hate it and I'm never going to be able to work out again. Thank you guys all for the support. I appreciate it. Trip, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. My man, you're doing something amazing, and I appreciate you. If you're not following this guy, go give him a follow. He's doing something amazing, and it's absolutely needs to be shared more and more. But going back to the topic, it's all about translating the skills that you learned. It's all about leveraging the positive things that the military gave you. Leverage those so you don't feel like you're suffering. If you've been in for 20 years and you get out and now you're having trouble with a 22-year-old giving you orders or a 24-year-old, whatever, how do you adapt to that? How do you change the dynamic so you don't feel like less of a man? You just got out. Maybe you were a master sergeant. Maybe you were a sergeant major. How do you reconcile the fact that now you have a 20-something-year-old giving you orders? Here's how. They're not orders. It's just the job. They're in that position because they proved themselves to a point. You're in your position because it's entry level maybe, but guess what? You have the skills. You have the knowledge. You have the expertise to be able to surpass that level. As long as you leverage the right skills, do not bring the judgment. Do not bring the negativity. Do not bring all of the bad stuff from your past into your present. Todd, you're right. You got to drop the ego. You got to realize that the ego is not serving you. You were taught that you had to be a certain way when you were in. You're right. You don't have to start over. And you can't be afraid of starting over because you know what? You're rebuilding. It's the reconstruction. You're designing your life the way that you want your life to live. You're designing your life the way that you want your life to be lived. So when you get out, drop the ego. understand that it's all right to live life a different way. It's not the end of the world. You got to understand that you have to take some time, get to know yourself, try new hobbies, meet new people. Don't only wear grunt style t-shirts. Don't feel like you only have to hang out with veterans. Don't feel like you have to go to the VFW. There's a lot of other places. Nothing against the VFW, but I have my issues with it. The fact that it surrounds itself and it's surrounded by alcohol. And alcohol is a tool that in the military we used to build camaraderie. I get it. Engaging in debauchery with your platoon was part of the process. It was part of the process, but now you're not surrounded by your boys anymore. You're not in your platoon anymore. Guess what? Now you're the one that's drinking on a Friday night by yourself when that's not normal. And it's all right to admit it. It's all right to tell yourself that this isn't normal, because if you keep trying to normalize it, if you keep trying to think of it as, you know what, this is all right, this is what I do, you're never going to look yourself in the mirror and realize something needs to change. As veterans, we do a very good job of finding people and finding things that are like an echo chamber for us. So if you think that you're angry about civilians and society and this and that, you find someone, or you go on TikTok and you find someone's video, or you go on social media, or you reach out to one of your buddies, and all you do is moan and complain and push yourselves down further and further into misery. Yes, I love that, Davin. You found love and joy in the gym and running Tough Mudders. I love that. That's awesome. You stopped drinking and smoking cold turkey in November of 2021. Love that. I believe that there's power in doing things in cold turkey style, because people think that, oh, take baby steps, quit little by little. Baby steps get you baby results. When you quit cold turkey something, it means that it was powerful enough for you to do so. The things that happened that you did that were powerful enough for them to take action and you actually do something about it, they resonate. They hit home. They're powerful. But when we don't do that, when as veterans, we leave the military and we don't do a great job of truly trying to fit into society, because that's what we have to do. We have to fit in. Sky Soldier, Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules for Life was one of the best books I've read, because it helped me get my life in order. That book for me was the first book that I had to read to get my life in order. All right. That's my recommendation. If anybody else has recommendations, please drop them below. I'd love to see what else you guys recommend. When we get out of the military, we push so far away from the working out that we get fat. And before you know it, it's been 10 years and you've gone up 4 or 5 pant sizes and you're unhappy with who you are. And every time you look in the mirror, you keep telling yourself tomorrow. Before you know it, you have kids. You have kids and your marriage is falling apart because you've stopped paying attention to yourself. Because you think that you had to sacrifice yourself for them. It doesn't work that way. The whole mentality of sacrificing yourself, it served a purpose in the military. When I was in Afghanistan in 2010, I was more than convinced that I was going to take a bullet to the face and that I was going to die. I believed it. I accepted it. I almost welcomed it. But as you get older, you realize that mentality does not serve you anymore. You have a lot to do. You have a lot to live for. Your kids are watching you. Your wife is watching you. Your peers are watching you. You're not meant to be the sacrifice. Because can you imagine, as your kids get older, they will subconsciously know that in your mind, you told yourself, I need to sacrifice myself, my time, my health for my kids. And they're going to resent you for that, because you're going to resent them, believe it or not. I know, it's hard to hear this. It's hard to hear this because it's true. Your kids are the reason you need to work out, the reason you need to go to the gym, the reason you need to train, the reason you need to eat healthy, the reason you need to go to bed on time so you can wake up on time and start your day with intention. Your marriage is the reason why you have to be true to who you are. Your marriage is the reason why you need to stay healthy and live a happy life, because you cannot make anyone happy if you are unhappy. I do not like the mentality of like people saying it is what it is, or you know how it goes, or just another day. That's promoting mediocrity. That's promoting the fact that you believe that life is what it is and that you have no control over it. You need to detach, take a step back physically sometimes, breathe, and freaking take a look at your surroundings. What can I change? What can I change to change the trajectory of where my life is headed? Because right now, your life is headed to where you don't want it to go. You just won't admit it. Your life is headed to heart disease, to maybe being 70 years old, confined to the couch, and now your kids have to look after you because you sacrificed yourself for them. Divorce, being unhappy with who you are and who you were. Don't you understand? They're the reason why you gotta take care of yourself. When you were in, the people that you did it for was for your platoon mate, to your buddy, to the left and to the right of you. They were the reason why you fought. They were the reason why you gave it everything you had. If you're looking for purpose in life, what better purpose than the children that you are bringing into this world? Than the peers, than your friends that look at you for guidance because you have it together, even though you don't, and that's all right. No one expects you to have it all together. The best mentors are those that go through hard times and learn a valuable lesson from it and then apply it. The best mentors are those that can admit when they were wrong and make changes from it. The best mentors are those who change their mind because they've learned some new information. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. It depends. It depends has so much power because what do you do in this situation? Well, it depends. And it does depend because nothing is black and white. You don't have to be the veteran that volunteers for everything. You don't have to be the veteran that raises his hand every single time or her hand for the working party. You're getting all this dopamine and all of this self-value from giving yourself away when in reality, you're not in a good place to be doing that. When in reality, there's still a lot of work for you to do on yourself. Yet here you are volunteering and over-volunteering and feeling like if you don't do it, the world's going to burn down. If you don't do it, it won't get done. And that's not true. In fact, you're probably enabling other people to lean on you consistently, where they feel like, don't worry, he'll do it. He'll do it. Take time, get to know yourself, separate from the world a little bit, experience life, make new friends. But when you get out, by God, the number one thing that you need to do when you get out is humble yourself and drop the ego. Realize that it's okay to ask for help. Realize that there is no such thing as being weak. Weak is a state of mind. You can be strong by doing the things that you weren't willing to do before. And those demons that are going to pop up for you, how do you face them? You face them by realizing that they are emotions and you need to heal. Let me read some of these comments. All right, Devin said, the thing that helped me, and I know not everyone can do it, but I was taking 6 months off in a sense, okay? I gave myself 6 months with zero expectations for anything, and it changed my whole view on life. I love that. So I think the way that we can translate that is that you took 6 months to gather who you were, to find a little bit more of your purpose and your mission in life, and to let go of the noise. Remove the chaos from your life. Control the chaos. An average Florida man, it's tough getting out and refinding purpose, bro. Absolutely it is. Absolutely. But do you think that it's worth staying in and having this purpose that isn't even yours anymore? Fear is a great tool. Fear is a tool that keeps you moving forward because you have fear of failure. But fear is also dangerous because if you fear the unknown, if you fear getting out, if you fear what's out there, you will stay stuck where you're at. Not at all. I agree with you. We can't have fear of the unknown. We cannot have fear of getting out. We cannot think that way. It hurts us. An unpopular opinion that I have is that when you get out, you are out. You are not a warfighter anymore. You do not have to be hyper-vigilant 24/7. In fact, I argue that hypervigilance is a bit of paranoia. A lot of people won't agree with that. They'll tell me, like, you have to be hypervigilant, you have to pay attention, you have to always be facing the door. I argue that your kids will see you act in this way, and they will develop this unconscious PTSD because dad's always on edge. I argue that your marriage will suffer because you're never present. I argue that this feeling of being this alpha male and this lone wolf that has to protect everybody and everything, and you can do it on your own, is alienating you from the rest of the world. And guess what? This world that you're alienating yourself from, it's the world you live in. It's the society that you're a part of. It's, at the end of the day, your end all be all. Yeah, I was there. Took me a long time. And I'm glad that you're making changes. I'm glad that things are changing for you. Davin said, I've seen both sides of the drastic veteran mindset, both getting as far from it as possible. And I want to see what else comes. By the way, thank you for joining. If you're joining my live, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I am on YouTube. I'm on all the platforms. I'm in my private group, the Savage Squad. So if you're watching this in the Savage Squad, I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are freaking amazing. And also clinging to it for life. I think that you have to learn how to take the positives from your time in the service and translate those skills so they're still very useful now in society. And all the baggage, that duffel bag that you have full of negative things that the military gave you and taught you that you have to work on actively unlearning, don't just stuff it away. Address those things. Address your shortcomings. Address your ego. Address the judgmental ways that you have. Work on them actively. Realize that there is power in vulnerability. You being vulnerable and sharing a little bit of what you're going through gives another veteran the power to see that it's all right, that they're not alone, that they're not the only ones going through it. Because I guarantee you, there's somebody out there right now that they see you, they look at you, and they see this epitome of what they wish they could be. Because you're hiding who you truly are. You're hiding the negatives. You're hiding the weaknesses, which you think they're negatives and weaknesses, when in truth, you're hiding who you are. There's power in sharing your journey. There's power in sharing your story. There's power in being honest. I just got off an 1.5 hour long FaceTime call with a man named Brian Scoggins. Brian is a leader of among men. If you don't follow Brian Scoggins, give him a follow. And we had a long conversation. He is still in. He's a gunny in the Marines, and he's doing amazing things. And hopefully we have a chance to work together. But I tell you right now, after having that 1.5 hour long conversation with him, he is my mentor. And that is powerful. Because I saw how smart he is. I saw how much he influences me. I saw the positives that were possible. I became excited for the future. So when you find someone in your life that motivates you, inspires you, gives you those freaking warm and fuzzy feelings, don't run away from that. Don't push away from it. Run into it. Lean into it. There's power in feeling a little uncomfortable, in sharing stuff that's hard for you to share, hard for you to talk about. You gain strength from it because you start to detach from it little by little. And before you know it, part of you has healed. It's not about you being able to do all of the things all at once. It's about you being able to build a routine. By the way, Sky Soldier, message me directly. We can talk about that. Oh, you needed to relearn it. Beautiful. So I'm happy that you already have a good morning routine or a good routine. When you meet someone, when you talk to someone, when you have that inspiration like you're mentioning right now, lean on them. Learn as much as you can. Take it all in. Learn the lessons without the scars. There's no sort of benefit in putting yourself through hard stuff in life if you don't understand the intention behind it. If you're just doing it just to do it because you think that it makes you harder, That's not the right way to live. It's all about intention. You understand that waking up early and jumping in the ice barrel and prepping your meals and getting out of the house early so you can actually go to the gym and do a workout and then going to work and then coming home and still having enough energy to go for a walk with your kids and still have enough energy to do the things that you know you need to do for that day. Doing all the hard things is valuable, but it comes with intention. You have to know why you're doing it. You have to know what your why is. Everybody likes to think of this word, motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation happens when you get consistent results. How do you get consistent results? By establishing habits, which in turn create a routine, which you've been able to actually figure out what they are because you have priorities. And with all that, you get results. But we won't have any of that unless you have devotion. Devotion is the magic word, in my opinion. Devotion is what gets you up and gets you started, but devotion. And discipline, yes. Discipline serves a purpose. Discipline is important. I'm not taking away from that word. But discipline is very logical. It takes the emotion out of it, which is important. And hear me out. When you have discipline, you can create that consistent results. You can create that permanent motivation. Discipline is what you are striving for, yes. But discipline is the logical response of knowing that you have to do it. Because if you do it, you will be better. But when you understand the why, when you understand the power of waking up early and realizing that if I wake up early, I can be there for my kids, I can live a long life, I can be healthy, I can actually play football with my son, I won't get winded going up the stairs, I won't die of a heart attack at the age of 59, I'll be there to walk my daughter down the aisle, I will be able to save my marriage, I will be able to do this, that, because I love myself. That's where devotion happens. Because you're devoted. With devotion, you can create that constant discipline because you understand why it's important. If you understand the why, logically, it will make sense to you. And when it's logically making sense to you, it'll be easier for you to be able to follow through with it and have the discipline, which in turn will create results, which in turn will give you results, which in turn will create motivation. Devotion. You got to be devoted to change. You have to be devoted to the process. You have to be devoted to being more than just a veteran. You have to be devoted to realizing that you are more than your service. Devoted to dropping the ego. Devoted to living a better life. Devoted to not drinking all the time because you understand that you're only hurting yourself. Devotion. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. If you're watching this live, do me a favor, drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway. If you're watching this and you're here with me right now, drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway. What did I say that freaking hit home for you? And if you've thought about making some changes in your life, if you've thought about finally going to the gym, don't put it off. You don't have to go to the gym and destroy yourself in the gym for 2 hours a day. It doesn't work that way. It's about a common sense approach to realizing that you can create something that's challenging that's not going to destroy you. Devotion. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're not following me, do me a favor, give me a follow. I'll follow you back. We'll start a conversation. If you've thought about making a change in your life, start today. Click the link in my bio. Make yourself a priority. Place yourself first. As we've been talking about, be devoted to change, not just interested. Be devoted to change. Don't just be interested in it. Don't talk about one day, later, I'm too busy. Life's not going to just magically get easier or less busy for you. And if you can do it when you're busy, if you can do it when you feel life is hard, imagine how much easier it will be for you when life is not. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your night. And again, if you're watching this live, drop a comment below. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is. I'm really curious to what it is that you took away from this conversation. And what are you worried is not going right in your life that you know you need to make changes about? Whatever that is. It could be a conversation with your mom. It could be you avoid crowds because you don't want to be around people. All of these things are self-limiting beliefs, and you reinforce them with negative self-talk. Before I go, I want to address dark humor. Dark humor is dangerous because dark humor makes light of a situation that needs attention. When you use dark humor to self-deprecate or to make light of something serious in your life, you are normalizing that behavior, that situation, that lifestyle. And before you know it, you won't even realize that it's an issue. Oh, I'm just a loner, I'm a lone wolf. I don't need nobody. Or me, like, I don't care about people. Oh, everybody hates me. Everything you're saying will become true and it'll become real. And you have to remember, you are in charge of your life and nobody else is. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to make an effort and be on my live more often. This year of 2024 is going to be much more intentional. A lot of big things coming. I'm working on serving my clients. VetRise as a company is doing amazing. I have some great employees. The team is growing. We are going to be launching VetRise Academy this year. We're going to be launching the podcast Vet Rising this year. Sam, what's up? You joined right as I'm hopping off, but I appreciate seeing you here. So as I mentioned, we're going to be launching VetRise Academy, which I'll talk more about in detail later on. If you're interested, send me a message. VetRise, the coaching program, is doing absolutely amazing. Clients are getting results. We are all winning together. The team is doing really well. And I couldn't be happier with the culture that we're building in our company. And I appreciate each and every one of you for helping me, watching my videos, and for being here. If you've noticed the editing in my videos, that's because we hired a videographer. Actually, scratch that. We didn't hire a videographer. I put Sam through courses to learn how to edit videos better, and he's been doing an amazing job. So if you're watching this and you know Sam, send him a message and let him know how amazing the last videos that we've been posting have been. Good night. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you guys so freaking much. Heather, thank you. Thank you, Heather. Heather, do me a favor. Drop a comment below. Let everybody know how much you love the program and how well you're doing. Heather is one of my clients. Heather's been doing amazing. That's Dream Chaser. She's had probably the best results in the program. And I'm super, super happy for her. I don't have the number off the bat, but she's lost a good amount of weight and she's going through a lot in her life, but she freaking shows up for herself. She's amazing. Alfonso, what's up, brother? I'm going to hop off. I got to get some stuff done, but thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you've thought about my program, if you've been watching my videos, this is me. I'm real. This is who I am. Send me a message or click on the link in my bio and let's get you freaking started. Tomorrow is not going to get magically better. You're good, brother. You're good. You're good. Alfonso, if you want to watch it, you can check it out on my Facebook and Instagram. It'll be posted. You'll be able to watch it specifically on Facebook. 40 pounds. Woo! Heather, Dream Chaser here. She's lost 40 pounds on the program since she started. Some amazing results. And the number one thing that I'm most proud of her isn't the weight that she's lost. It's the mindset shift that she's had and how she's truly showing up for herself and becoming the hero of her own story. And that's what I'm most proud of, because honestly, those changes are the changes that show the most. It's not just on the outside, it's on the inside as well. And I'm super proud of her for that. I'm going to hop off, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you don't follow me on my other socials, because right now I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of them. You can find me on the other socials with the same handle, JP the Veteran Coach. So if you're on Instagram, if you're on TikTok, Facebook, go search me and search JP the Veteran Coach. Heather, couldn't have done it without you. I could not have done this without you. I appreciate you. Keep being amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm very proud of you. Have a great night, everybody. Talk to you guys later, all right? Stay freaking savage. And that wouldn't be me if I didn't do my whole little howl. Stay savage. Have a good night. Bye.